about what those lobbyists are claiming. Let's just get it out here. Number one, they say contractors can't hand over their intellectual property and data because the Army would steal it. Secretary Driscoll, what do you say to big contractors that claim the Army can't be trusted with sensitive data?
Senator, I would say one of the more preposterous things I've heard in the last 18 months.
But you have heard it.
I have heard it often, is that we, the United States Army, would take this data and do something nefarious at worst, or at perhaps best, from a moral perspective, we would haphazardly handle it. The United States Army and the Pentagon in particular are exceptionally good at handling sensitive data, and we have incredible processes in place, I would say more so than any other organization. And so my reply is, and has always been, we don't want to take any data, we just want to purchase it.
Okay.
America First Voice is back with another hard-hitting reaction. Today, we're reacting to this Senate Armed Services Committee hearing where Senator Elizabeth Warren pushes aggressively for a military right-to-repair law, using the example of a tiny knob on Black Hawk helicopters that supposedly costs $15 to replace, but forces the Army to buy an entire $47,000 screen because of contractor control. Let me tell you, patriots, this sounds appealing on the surface, but Warren's approach reveals the usual big government mindset that could seriously compromise our national security. If you believe our military must maintain technological superiority, protect classified data, and prioritize readiness over feel-good regulations, smash that like button right now and subscribe. Let's dive in. Warren brings up the Black Hawk example and presses Secretary of the Army Daniel Driscoll on whether the Army needs Congress to pass right-to-repair reforms in the NDA. She criticizes big defense contractors for allegedly killing the bill and questions claims about intellectual property and data security. Driscoll acknowledges the need for better access to parts and data, but carefully highlights the complexities involved with sensitive software, cybersecurity, and mission-critical systems. Here's my unfiltered take as a right-wing patriot and constitutional conservative.
Senator Scott, Senator Warren.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We need a military right-to-repair law. Got an example today, and that is Black Hawk helicopters. There's a tiny knob that pilots need to scroll through for information, and every month, about 4 of them break. The Army could replace them for about $15, but because the Army does not have right to repair, the whole helicopter goes offline, and the contractor charges $47,000 to replace the entire screen. Let that sink in. $15 or $47,000. Now, Secretary Driscoll, you and other military leaders have repeatedly said that Congress needs to pass the right to repair law. And last year, both the House and the Senate passed reforms. But the big defense contractors, lobbyists, killed it behind closed doors. So let's talk out in the open about what those lobbyists are claiming. Let's just get it out here. Number one, they say contractors can't hand over their intellectual property and data because the Army would steal it. Secretary Driscoll, what do you say to big contractors that claim the Army can't be trusted with sensitive data?
Senator, I would say one of the more preposterous things I've heard in the last 18 months.
But you have heard it.
I have heard it often, is that we, the United States Army, would take this data and do something nefarious at worst, or at perhaps best, from a moral perspective, we would haphazardly handle it. The United States Army and the Pentagon in particular are exceptionally good at handling sensitive data, and we have incredible processes in place, I would say more so than any other organization. And so my reply is, and has always been, we don't want to take any data, we just want to purchase it.
Okay, so let's do another one. Big contractors claim that DoD doesn't need right to repair reforms because you already have all of the authority you need to access technical data for repairs. Now, it turns out when you look at that existing legal authority, it explicitly says that technical data, quote, does not include computer software. Secretary Driscoll, it's 2026. Most weapons run on software. If the Army can't use software to repair its own equipment and weapons, Is that a problem for readiness?
Unequivocally, yes.
Yeah. So in fact, for example, the Army is already unable to repair the Avenger air defense system because it doesn't have the software it needs. So right to repair must include software. Let's do one more. Big contractors have floated the idea of, quote, data as a service, which is really just code for pay-per-view. It means that the department is, quote, metered and billed every single time they access materials. And it's pretty easy to see how costs would add up in those circumstances, since one contractor is already charging the Air Force $900 a page for upgrades to its maintenance manuals. Secretary Driscoll, aside from the cost of pay-per-view, what happens if the Army is trying to repair a piece of broken equipment in a remote area and it has to keep messaging the contractor to get access to the manual?
Senator, this is what happens frequently, whether the specifics are true today or it's directionally true. Directionally, our soldiers struggle mightily to keep a lot of our equipment online, and this is not in a moment of conflict. That could be the decisive point between us being successful somewhere 6,000 miles away in the Indo-Pacific or failing our mission if we can't repair our own equipment.
Yeah. You know, it is a reminder we've got to have this access. And I just want to say this business of data as a service is just one more attempt to try to gouge American taxpayers and put our service members at risk. Last question, Secretary Driscoll. Does the Army need Congress to pass right to repair reforms in this year's National Defense Authorization Act, or should we let the big contractors kill it once again behind closed doors? What do you think here? This one is known as low and slow over the plate.
Yes. This is one of the most important things, and I don't say this to be over the top. I'm not intending to play into the set of questions. We, the United States Army, and we, the broader military, must maintain the right to be able to take advantage of all of the new tools, because if we don't, our adversaries will, and we will be put at a meaningfully worse position.
Yeah. Well, I very much appreciate the job you're trying to do. General, I'm sorry I didn't get to ask you the same set of questions, but I got a tough chairman who shuts me down when I go over.
She's 15 seconds over, and I'm pretty hot about it.
Exactly, I can tell. But I really do appreciate all you're trying to do. We need to help you out with getting right to repair through this year.
There will be an opportunity, of course, for a second round. And
while reducing maintenance costs and cutting contractor overcharging is a worthy goal, Senator Warren's broad right to repair push for military equipment is dangerous and typical leftist overreach. Our most advanced defense systems contain highly classified technology, proprietary software, encryption, and capabilities that must be guarded with extreme care. Forcing contractors to hand over full technical data and source code to third parties, including potentially foreign influence repair shops, creates massive security vulnerabilities that China, Russia, and other adversaries would love to exploit. As a patriot, I support reforming Pentagon procurement to eliminate waste and speed up repairs. The idea that a small part costs a fortune due to monopolistic practices is frustrating and needs fixing. However, the solution isn't handing sensitive military technology to anyone who wants it. National security must come first. The Black Hawk is a complex aircraft with integrated avionics, mission systems, and software, not a consumer toaster. Weakening intellectual property protections and data controls could allow adversaries to reverse engineer our capabilities through compromised supply chains or leaks. Deeper opinion as a right-wing patriot. America First defense policy means building and maintaining the strongest military in the world with American companies, American workers, and ironclad protection of our technological edge. We should absolutely demand better value for taxpayer dollars, faster acquisition, and more competition in maintenance. But handing broad right to repair access risks giving China and others the keys to our most advanced systems. The real problems are slow acquisition reform, excessive bureaucracy, cost-plus contracts that reward inefficiency, and a broken process that takes forever to field new equipment. President Trump's focus on streamlining procurement, increasing competition, and prioritizing lethality is the correct path. We need to audit the Pentagon properly. They still can't pass one. Cut real waste and empower our warfighters, not create new mandates that could jeopardize sensitive systems. Senator Warren often uses these issues to expand government control and attack private industry. Patriots want efficiency and accountability without compromising the security of our troops or our technological advantage against peer competitors like China. Patriots, we must support a strong defense industrial base while demanding real reform and accountability. Smart contracting, competition, and targeted fixes, not risky blanket, right to repair laws that could hand our adversaries advantages. America must maintain overwhelming military superiority to deter China and protect our freedom. If this hearing got you thinking, comment below. Should the military have broader right to repair? How do we balance cost savings with national security? Do you support reforming Pentagon procurement the America First way? Smash like if you stand for a strong national defense and America First priorities. Subscribe, hit the bell, and share with every patriot. We need secure borders, energy dominance, military superiority, and an unapologetic America First agenda. Stay vigilant. Stay strong. God bless our troops. God bless our defense workers. God bless President Trump. And God bless the United States of America, the greatest nation on earth.